Okay, we should probably test our audio before we start doing a cast. So, also, hello,
Hello,
my
morning.
co-caster. Good morning. How's it going?
Good.
Okay.
Uh, yep.
Yep. All right. Let me lower some things on my end so that you can be heard over it. So, yeah. Okay.
What do you mean, cat jam?
Cat jam.
Who needs to hear the casters? Just listen to the music, like
Right?
crank the.
Just need to crank some tunes up and then fucking do the funny space game later.
Yeah. Well, no, you gotta crank the tunes while the funny space game is happening.
Right.
Who needs to hear the casters?
Right. No, we're unimportant. We just really we're just making things even more confusing for people watching.
Yeah.
Just get all the fucking memes and jokes out of the way 3 minutes to the schedule because like it's an official CPL cast. They did an at here and everything for this, so
That's true. I
oh
will
man.
I will try to rein in my ADHD and keep the memes minimal.
Keep the memes minimal. Well, we do have to get through 2 groups, so I think we can manage it. How's your CPL season gone?
So the first week I got steamrolled, and then the second week I did pretty good. But I feel like in a lot of the games that I lost, it was just me, like my brain leaving my body. Like it's like really easy to fix stupid, dumb mistakes, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I lost. I was only able to play 1 game in the first week, and I've lost every single preseason game except for one, which is the game I'm most proud of, because it's something else.
Did you win the game in the first week, or what, did you
Oh, it was
lose the
one of
game?
the second week games. I lost the game in the
Okay.
first week. It was awful.
You're
It-
like, man, I lost every game in the first week. I only played one, but that's not the point.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, this is not the point. We're trying to. My
Yeah.
win rate in week 1 was 0%. Okay.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah. All right. It's turning over to 9, which is our scheduled start time. So we're gonna go ahead and start the non-StarCraft music. Stop the non-StarCraft music. Start the StarCraft music. There we go. And switch over to our fancy CPL splash screen. I think this is the right one for this week. Yeah, it is. All right. Oh shit, I forgot to get the CPL logo. The transparent logo. It's fine. This is CPL week 1. We're going to be covering groups 1 and 4. I don't know why that says 2. That's nice. Is it a StarCraft 2 background? Yes. It's
Well, heresy.
listen. It's group 4. Sorry. It's I think when I was setting this up, I was organizing this by like doing like 1, 2, like the text boxes, and so I ended up leaving that at group 4. So, we are on group 1 and group 4. We have about 6 games to cover. It's funny I can just sneak StarCraft 2 stuff in StarCraft 1 cast. It's fine. Just extra.
I mean,
yeah.
as long
Listen.
as I'm here, it's not snuck in. It's like, so anyway, tangent about SC2, which I'll try to also rein in. Like,
Yeah. Listen. We can. Where are the reps of the other games? These were all the reps. When I just pulled all of them, and when I pulled group 1, because I was like, I'm just gonna pull group 1 and work my way up. It was like, oh, this
listen,
is just 4 replays.
this isn't the gym. There's no extra reps, okay?
There is no extra reps. We are the laziest. What's the opposite of a gem?
Casting Brood War at 6 a.m. on a Saturday.
There you go. It's 6 a.m. on a Saturday.
Well, it isn't my time zone. You're like Eastern time, I think.
Oh,
But
okay, okay.
but
That because when
yeah,
you messaged me, you were like, yeah, I woke up at 4 or like some stuff like that. I was just like, holy shit, the character's about to be
yeah,
like
like
knocked out, and then I was like, oh wait, no, hold on, he's in a different time zone.
yeah. That's why I always like show up midway into your CPL casts.
Right.
Because for me, it's a lot earlier.
Yeah. All
Are
right.
you gonna be
Free. This
hosting the
is.
games on West?
Oh yeah. I think I'm on West. Let me see. I'll go ahead and put our game up. Our first game of the day is gonna be Cider versus Dead Dumble. Uh, let me message you on Discord what the thing is gonna be. It's like on the RSL cast. I don't care. I'll just be like, yeah, the game's password is RSL. Who cares? Oh nope.
I mean,
Someone figured it out.
yeah, it's not that hard of a guess. It's not that hard to guess.
Okay then.
You could still have randoms join the lobby.
We could. We'll just ban them. Alright, now let's move over to our in-game stream, which we have our CPL 8 logo, our CPL 8 stuff up a little ahead of time, because I'm too lazy to turn this on and off in between games. Alright. We'll hop right into it. This is going to be Cider versus Dead Dumble, and I actually don't know what their, I think Dead Dumble's a Terran. But, you know what, we're going to find out together on this cast.
We splitting up the intros, or
Sure. I'll do Cider if you want to do Dead Dumble.
Okay, who's going first? Quick.
I'll do for okay. In the top right corner, we have representing the blue Terran squad. We have Cider. Not saying that.
And in the bottom left corner, in the pink plain Zerg, it is none other than Dead Dumbledore.
All right. So we're gonna have a ZVT on our first match of the game. Honestly, Zerg versus anything is like the best matchup to cast.
Yeah, especially Zerg versus Zerg.
Oh yeah, I
Just kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh.
ZVZ is the greatest
okay.
matchup to cast.
I mean, it is super aggressive and it's usually over quick. And there's like,
I just like seeing the little men kill each other.
I like how you refer to Zerglings as little men.
They're the little men.
You're just like, aw, little man.
The little man. I mean,
Look
they're
at the
just
little mans, kill the little mans.
Look at them go. I mean, what's the common analog is that ZVZ is a drunken knife fight. It's just like, oh, look at them.
Yeah, and you're just like,
Look at the two drunks trying to stab each other.
Oh, I was gonna say, look at the little mans trying to stab each other. I'm sorry. I just think it's hilarious. So anyway, this was gas before pool, right? Yeah.
Yes. The pool just went down, so it's gas first. Neither of us play Zerg, so I assume this is just going to be like a really fast.
Yeah.
Would it be a really fast Zergling speed or a really fast lair? It would be.
I mean,
be a really fast lair. It
would be
right?
lair. Yeah. Well, it would be lair because like the only Zerg build I know is 9 pool speed, and I would assume like if you wanted fast ling speed, you would just go 9 pool speed, which is just you make the pool first, and then you make the gas, and then you make the overlord.
Alright, well, us going in, Cider slips
Bunker
an
going
SCV right by the Overlord. The Overlord sees the SCV and begins moving up north based on the trajectory. Yeah, Bunker's going down. Barracks is pumping Marines. No refinery yet, so I think it's just going to be a basic Barracks expand. And
I mean, I think you can also assume that by the bunker.
Yes, well.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. I
Go
mean,
on, go
you're
on.
you're the Terran player here. I'm a lowly Protoss player. I don't even know how to play my own race. So,
Well, the layer going down at about or starting at about 3 minutes.
yep, so we're getting
So
speed and layer at the same time.
I
Uh,
guess it's just gonna be 2-hatch Muta.
that does seem possible. 3 drones coming out, so this is great scouting information for Cider. Their SCV is going to be able to see that all of these eggs were just drones popping. And in fact, this SCV might be able to stick around even longer and notice that this last egg is also a drone. So Dead Dumble is going for just like all of the macro play. Finally, a Zergling is about to hatch.
Man, I wish I could have played Dead Dumble because like I just go like 2 racks Academy every game, and it's like normally they just make lings or make you know, safety spores.
All right.
I mean not spores, spines, not spines, sunkens. God damn it, SC2 brain.
Alright, the SCV aggroed on a drone, and he is chasing it down, but unfortunately... Oh, wow, no, that SCV is determined to get that drone. So this is, you know, you want to watch your workers, and then that SCV, mineral walking through, getting some great... Does spot the Spire, so that's huge information for Cider there. Because with only 2 Zerglings, it's really hard for Dead Dumble to actually deny any scouting here, but it looks like... The SCV's still gonna live. Nope, never mind.
I mean, he did his job. He died doing what he loved.
He died. I don't know if he loved that, but he definitely died doing his job.
Listen, I was gonna make a Starship Troopers reference, but then I just blanked.
All right.
Listen, he was doing his part.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He did his part, gets eaten by Zerglings.
Yeah, that was his part. His job was to scout. Listen, he sacrificed himself so that many more Terrans may live.
Alright, so the factory on the way for Cider, engineering bay on the way as well, so the missile turrets will be getting up in time to stop or not stop the mutas, because you can't really stop the mutas. You can only just kind of annoy them into not killing you. So it looks like we have +1, and we're going to see a huge, probably a big round of Mutalisks come out, even though, I mean, Dead Dumble's just getting more drones, which is crazy. More drones, a third base.
Do you think this is going to be 1-1-1 from the Terran? Because he hasn't added any extra racks or factories. Or, oh, well, there's the Academy, so I guess it's just going to be bio, but...
It might just be a bit of an unoptimized bio play.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I guess 1-1-1 could go into either if he did go for that, but it
wouldn't. It wouldn't be as efficient.
It's too early.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the Mutalisks are finally so Dead Dumble actually isn't committing really hard to the Mutalist play. They're just getting queens. So I think they're
also. I want to point out. Sorry, I shouldn't have cut you off, but CC going down in the bottom right.
That's much more important than whatever I was going to say. So there's a hidden CC coming down, and I believe this actually is right outside the vision of the Overlord. Depending on how the SCV builds it, it might come over into the vision range, but I mean there's an Overlord here. Like, it's going to see this base.
This is actually kind of like, this is funny because it's like the Overlord is just sitting just outside of vision, and like I bet this Overlord never moves the rest of the game. and it's like I bet this base doesn't get scouted until he takes the gas.
Right. He has all these SCVs mining minerals, and then he just never mines gas.
The moment he mines gas, like some mutas come over and just kill all the SCVs. It was a trap.
Yeah.
Also,
so it actually does end up being a 1-1-2 with 2 starports coming down, going into Valkyries. Now, that is an interesting play. I think it's strange because Dead Dumble really isn't going into heavy Mutalisks. Well, actually, I stand corrected.
Well,
they have 8 Mutalisks, but
they just haven't done anything with them yet. But they're heading them out with them now.
oh, yep,
Also.
the Overlord sees the refinery.
Yep, as soon as the OV sees the refinery, the mutas come across the map.
You think this SCV was building the refinery and saw the Overlord? He canceled it, so he was like, oh, he knows this exists.
You know what's even funnier is the moment that he canceled it, the mutas stopped for a second. Like
they were like, wait, was this a mind game?
Was this a ruse?
Oh my god. And then, no! The command center! So, dude, the command center pilot is the most... They are shitting themselves right now. They're just like... The SCVs were like, abandon the base, get out of here! And then the command center's like, oh my god.
Also,
there's like a whole
the
crew on in this building that are all simultaneously shitting themselves.
Yep. The funny thing is the command center could be mining right now.
Yeah, he could actually be mining from like these bottom couple minerals.
He probably could have gotten like 4 turrets up by now.
Yeah. Ultralisk Cavern on the way, so that's gonna really hard counter. I guess Slippin' Insider's going for like a mass Valkyrie play, which is a take.
Wait, wouldn't it be funny if the mutas missed this CC? Oh, okay, never mind. I see it.
They do see it. Unfortunately, the crew of the oh, just flies.
Well, I mean that's
if your opponent
that sounds like an alien.
Yeah, if your opponent is killing your hidden expansion, just tell them no. Legally, they're not allowed to kill it.
That's true. This Zerg just broke the law.
That's wait. Okay, so after breaking the law, like it seems like Cider's only kind of benefit in this game is that they have 6 Valkyries. So
there's 5. Sorry, go on.
Oh.
I really need to stop cutting you off. It's getting bad.
You're good. You're good. So they have 6 Valkyries. So at a certain point, can the Terran ever actually treat the Valkyries like Corsairs and just go start killing Overlords?
Honestly, probably.
Yeah, I mean, 6 Valkyries can probably kill like 12 Mutalisks, right?
I don't know, but probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't make Valkyries a lot.
Well, you're supposed to be our Terran specialist.
Yes, but I usually die before I can get Valkyries out.
Oh, I see.
I'm just laying it all out here. It's like, if you play against character, just do this.
Just kill them.
Just go kill him before he gets Valkyries out.
Alright, so the Valkyries are coming. 5 Ultralisks in production. Which, I mean, honestly, they would be able to do a lot. Okay, so,
Man,
yep, they catch the mutas. So huge splash damage coming down. Wow. Yeah, that about does it. So now I think Cider has just opened up a I mean, how much supply did Dumbledore just lose there? Like 24?
Here's what I'm concerned about, though. The Ultras. Like, he's got 3 bunkers at his natural, a tank and a Goliath, but I feel like enough Ultralisks are just gonna murder everything, and is like, he thinks like the Valkyries are good if he commits to mutas, but he really only made the control group and then went straight to...
Yeah, definitely. And I think Slippin' Insider is like, okay, what's my win condition? I kill Overlords. And it's honestly, I mean, not bad. Like, what is this? 8 Valkyries will melt through Overlords. Like, you think Corsairs are bad versus a Zerg? Look at that. You blink and you miss them.
Yeah, it's PVZ now.
Yeah, so, I mean, Dead Dumble is reset down to 36 supply. Like, as long as Cider doesn't just die to those Ultralisks, right? And they're setting up siege tanks. They have bunkers. Now, they really probably needed vultures with spider mines. But I guess it's time to see, like, oh, man, and they're setting up, like, the Terran wall here. That's
you know what?
Really good.
Yeah, considering it's actually genius.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't have a lot of ground units. I will build a massive wall.
Yeah, this is like crazy. Now the Valkyries are gonna catch the Overlords here. Dead Dumble doesn't have a Hydra Den. So
and there's the BC switch.
And there's the BC switch. What? Okay, so I think he needs to maybe split the Valkyries off into 2 groups so they can cover more ground. Because right now, like, Dead Dumble is slipping a couple of Overlords through the cracks. But you can see Dead Dumble's also just going insane on the Spore colonies. Which seems like a pretty good idea. And it'll make it so that, like, Cider... Like, oh, Jesus, that's like 4 spores going up in each base.
If only you could land these Valkyries. We just
imagine?
don't have the technology, though.
It's... Alright. Oh, he just barely misses the ultra... Oh, there he goes.
Nope,
Okay,
he
so
came
3
back.
more Overlords.
This is the Overlord deletion squad.
Yeah. I mean, and behind the Slip Insider has been getting... Well, they're still getting battle cruisers. So I think they're going to just be able to win.
Question mark?
I think really the big thing here... Oh, nice run by on the Terran's third. So I think the big thing here is Dead Dumble can just take the map right because
and
Cider...
kill all the Overlords.
Yeah. But you don't need Overlords to build hatcheries, though. And the Volks aren't very fast, so they can't be everywhere. So if Dead Dumble just takes, like, every single corner base and then, I don't know, does some kind of macro, gets a bunch of Spore colonies, right?
Yeah.
Wow, Dead Dumble actually isn't building any extra. They wasted so many drones to build the Spores, so they don't have the supply to get...
I think he has 0 Overlords left. He has 12 supply and 3 hatcheries.
Hatcheries only give 1 supply. And there's one
supply?
Overlord, which the Valkyries just flew by.
So the final Overlord.
So here's the crazy thing, right? Oh my god, 2 more Spore colonies being added on. So Dead Dumble is absolutely just going straight into campaign Zerg. But here's the thing, like, the Valkyries killed the Overlords so quickly. Can't they just fly in, nuke the Overlords, fly out, and then you maybe lose 1 or 2? In the meanwhile, you're just continuously adding on battle cruisers off of 2 bases. I don't like the hiding of a battle cruiser. I think he should be moving out and putting pressure to just start that process.
I think he doesn't want to, like, have him switch to Hydras real quickly and then have a counter to the BCs. I think he just wants to mass BCs and then show up with them.
Right.
And remember earlier when I said I didn't like the position for Slip It Insider? I retract that. It's retracted.
Yeah. Okay, another Zerg attack coming through, and we have a BC in position to kind of help defend here. So I think, like, Cider's in a really great position, but they do need to start diving. There's 3 Overlords at the third where there's only 1 Spore colony defending. There's a bunch over this mineral line here. Oh, man, a ton of Scourge, though, so... Yeah, I think Cider just needs to start, like, trading in Volks to buy more time for the battle cruisers. My god.
They're so close to the Overlord.
My man out here playing tank defense.
The Valks are coming in for the Overlords.
Ooh. Yeah, so they're melted, they get out, what?
And they're so tanky, they just get out. Like, I don't even see one die.
And he's gonna get up in here. This is crazy.
Are Valks OP?
Yeah, this is a new... I wanna see this play style more in CPL. This is so, like, just weird to watch. I guess
makes it great.
Yeah, there's 5 Overlords in the main, but Dead Dumble is still stuck at 53 supply. Yeah. And now the BCs are going to start moving out. There's 4, there's a huge mech army. I think all the Ultras died in that attack.
You know, I thought there was a full wall, but I wasn't really paying attention, and the ground units are just moving out, like, through a single file line.
Well, he lifted the engineering bay.
Oh, right, there was an engineering bay in the wall. You're right. So, like, I think he just shows up across the map and then wins the game. Maybe. Actually, no, he's taking his third. I thought he was going to push across the map, but he's just doing this to secure his third.
Yeah, not big on this play. I think, I don't know, with all the Ultras, it's like, I understand wanting to play a bit more safe, but... I mean, you have 4 battle cruisers. Go kill them. Just go kill the opponent. before they can.
I think he just wants what he wants to do is like max out and then push, while he just denies the Zerg supply by like with the Valkyries.
Yeah, ooh, that's a vulnerable Overlord group.
Like he's been below 60 supply this whole game because he's just been like canceling his like overlords.
Right. I think this style, like, I really actually love this style. It's so weird and unique. But I think it would be so... Okay, yeah. So Scourge are going to come in, but they get one shot by battle cruisers, so... they do 25 plus 3. Don't send Valkyries. Oh, I guess it still works. When you have that many. I think Cider just needs to, like, start moving across the map. Or just have... What is going on here? A hidden sneak barracks in the top right base. Behind an expansion at 12 o'clock. Yeah, I think Cider is maybe misjudging how they win this game, because they have the game won, but it's the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, if you have an economic lead, it's really easy to keep an economic lead, but it's also,
right.
If you're not containing the opponent like actively, you're opening up so many more avenues for them to somehow claw their way back into the game, right? Like, Dead Double on is a 5-base Zerg. Like, even if you keep killing Overlords, the longer you wait to go kill them, the more it just kind of becomes like, do they find an answer somehow? Like, do they get, like, a lucky trade, or do they just slowly get their, like, macro online to be able to take stuff?
Right.
But I like the Valks. They're going to probably dive in here, pick off a couple more Overlords. So the Cider is going to pick them off. Yep, nukes them, and they fly out. One Valkyrie dies during this process.
Also, there's a drone and an SCV fighting at the top base.
There's not. Okay, well, it looks like
there were, but it died. Like, the SCV died.
Well, don't worry. The command center is going to produce a new SCV to finish the job.
Yes, but... Zerg regen. Oh wait, it's not that good. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. All right. So don't worry. We have 6 battle cruisers en route to kill that drone. Yeah, and Dead Dumble's back down to 53 supply. I'm pretty sure they only have these 5 Overlords in their main. So now the Ultras come up, but now the BCs and the Marine will actually get there and save the base if the command center is lifted. Alright, nope, the Ultras run away.
You know what? You know what I think Cider thinks is best in life?
To macro?
To crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their overlords.
Yeah. Listen, Cider's been on that noble Terran. He's living up to the noble Terran propaganda, where they're just like, I'm going to macro, I'm going to get my bases, I'm going to play a standard game. Even if you're getting a control group of Valkyries to harass Overlords, we're gonna win this game by macroing up.
He's playing a standard PvZ.
Yeah. So I think with the BCs moving over, Yamato Cannon, I believe, was researched at one point, but even without it, the BCs can kill spore colonies pretty quickly. Spores only do 15 damage?
I guess so.
What?
Although, the Zerg is finally getting Hydras up. I don't know how much they can do at this point, but at least it's something.
So this is how you know Cider has played through the campaign, because they hit those two Yamato cannons on the spore colony, which I've never really seen, like, you know, specifically a tight macro thing like that. It's like, I feel like that is one of the lessons that, like, you learn in the campaign, is that you do 2 Yamato cannons to kill static B.
Yeah.
Be like 8 years old playing the campaign. It's like that's one of the first things that, like, gets you really memorized down.
I mean, to be fair, he's kind of played it like a campaign mission, where he's just made a lot of static defense and built a wall.
Yeah. So, the great thing about BCs is that they're kind of like carriers. Like, the BC versus Hydra, it's kind of like carriers and Goliaths, where technically Hydras can beat BCs pretty easily.
But
But
if there's just enough carriers or enough BCs,
yeah, they'll just start tearing through things, and I think we're gonna see that here as Cider starts making his way down through the bases.
feel like the Yamatos should come out for these spores.
Yep.
Does he have the energy on some of them? Yeah, there we go.
All right. I think as this third base falls, we're gonna see Jesus. Dead Numble is.
We're gonna see Jesus as the third.
We're gonna
base
see
falls.
Jesus. Jesus is a field of spore colonies. It's like a field of spore colonies in TVZ. This does not spark joy, but a field of spore colonies in ZVZ. This is
man,
what we like to see. Okay, so spores do the 15 damage they do is normal damage, so it's not affected by like it's like the photon cannons, which do 20, and also spores fire like at an insane rate. So.
Eight BCs versus 2 control groups of Hydras. Who wins?
The answer may surprise you.
Oh wait, it's 10 BCs, I lied. Yep. But yeah, I think that should be GG.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be able to loop around and get the mineral only, and Dumbledore GG'd in the Discord chat when they talked after game.
100%,
Alright.
that's definitely what happened.
Okay, well, let's hop back to our overlay here. Where's my overlay? Here we go. Okay, CPL Splash Screen 2. So, our first match of the day. Cider is going to take it with the 1-0 over... No, wait, yeah, Cider took it.
Yeah.
Showcasing the Tasagi, you know? It's an early start to the day. No. That was a really interesting, really fun game. I love that heavy Valkyrie style. It just is so... you're like it played out like a PVZ, but it's just really fun to see that in races where that's not supposed to work.
It's definitely different from what you'd normally see.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe Cider used to play Protoss or something, and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna play TVZ like it's PVZ and kill all the overlords. I mean, Valkyries are basically just tanky Corsairs anyway.
Right. So our next game is gonna be Dead Dumble versus Frank the Tank in a ZV and another Zerg versus Terran. So this was the ZVT group. Get into our game.
With the very, very complicated password.
I'm gonna change it, and you're gonna be like, "It's not working." I'll be like, "Yeah." I did one of those.
It's not working.
Light Swarm. Get out of here.
I like how you closed the one. Okay, never mind. You closed them all.
All right, we're gonna have to. Okay, we'll change the password. Nice password. God damn it. I'm gonna do one of those Google Chrome, like the autofill passwords, and it's just gonna be like XZ capital Y $sign $sign.
You just have to like,
65
copy
T.
paste it through Discord.
Yeah. All right, hopping into our game here, we have in the bottom right corner Frank the Tank.
And in the
representing
top left
the
corner.
light, the teal Terran, the hero units.
Ah, crap! I said my lines too early.
You said you came out on the stage too quickly.
Yeah, hold on. Let me check the script again.
This isn't this isn't how rehearsal went.
Yeah, my bad. In the top left corner, in the red trunks, representing the Zerg, still looking to prove himself, it's Dead Dumbledore.
All right. Scouting in the incorrect position. So this is something that I I think in most of my casts that include Zerg, I kind of always try to pay attention to this and then harp on it. And I'm going to harp on it, is that Zerg on Polyvoid scouts counterclockwise. You save like 0.2 seconds on scouting your opponent by doing so, because that's where the opponent's natural is closest to you.
I'm gonna disagree with you. As long as I'm playing the game, wherever I scout is wherever my opponent is not. Therefore, if I scout in the correct position, it's actually the incorrect one.
Right. Well, wait, you play Terran. So.
Well, I mean, in CPL, I'm playing mirror matchups, which means I'll be scouting in the incorrect positions just to trigger you in ZPZ.
That's amazing. Wait, so you're race picking mirror matchups?
Yeah, I'm race picking mirror matchups.
I almost did that this season, and I was like, no. Everybody complains about mirror matchups.
That's exactly why you got to do it.
That's true.
You need to be the agent of chaos.
Well, it's also my Zerg is. I guess I could get away with my Zerg being my worst race. Anyways, Frank just going straight across the map scouting.
Yep, and just
taking that
scout.
Yeah, first scout. Do you think they're gonna steal the gas?
I thought he was for a second, but
yeah. Instead, he's just gonna harass the spawning pool.
Hey, man.
You'd be surprised how much damage an SCV can get out when it's
yeah, he's already got
devices.
50 damage on that spawning pool.
Yeah. Now, Dead
Watch
Dumble...
just Sorry.
No, yeah, go ahead.
This is gonna keep happening. I'm gonna keep accidentally interrupting you, and then you're gonna be like, "Go ahead." I'm like, "No, go ahead. Just keep talking."
Okay. Wow, that SCV's committed. Oh, the hero SCV. He was only. What's 600 what's 590 divided by 5? Like, 100 and...
Wait, divided by 10 would be 59, so double that, and that is 118.
Excuse me?
You said
Okay.
You said divided by 5. The way that I do it is I divide by 10 because that's obvious. Then you double it.
What in the Common Core curriculum is this?
What do you mean? That's the easiest way to divide by 5. Is you divide it by 10 so that you already know what that answer is. Then you double it. It is way easier than thinking, oh, okay, what's it divided by 5?
Okay, I'm gonna get over my shock here at math tricks for a second, because Dead Dumble is out on the hunt. They went into the wrong position. Unfortunately, the Overlord, who could have been scouting in the correct position, does not know that there is a base there, and instead they're gonna go right over to the left, where there are 3 Marines right out into the open, ready to be devoured by our little men, and the little men devour our shooty boys. That is actually terrible for Frank the Tank, as that's going to completely delay their expansion timing. And the Marine is going to pop on the outside of the barracks, so if Dead Dumble plays his cards right, these Zerglings can just farm Marines forever. What?
I mean, the Zerglings were looking the other way. You saw them. They weren't looking. They didn't see the Marine creep past.
Are the Zerglings not able to fit in this space here?
No. He tried to go around, and they were blocked. No, they should be able to go through, right? Because Zerglings are smaller than Marines, right?
Right, so if you click around here, wouldn't they...
Yeah, they should be able to fit through. I guess maybe he didn't try to go through. Maybe he just A-moved. I don't know.
Right. Well, this is one of the reasons why I think... Jesus Christ. Alright, well, we have a factory of Marine production up in the barracks.
So... I wanted to hear your thoughts on Jesus Christ.
My thoughts on Jesus Christ is that I don't think any of these 5 Marines are him. You know what, I'm not going to harp on it too long because we have a lot of newer players, and sometimes it's better to queue up your macro. Well, there's a lot of ways, there's a lot of schools of thought, right? So it could be that queuing up your macro is getting you started on bad practices, because obviously you don't want to queue up 5 Marines, because that's another barracks and an additional Marine that could be producing at the same time. But if you're a newer player, if you're not so sure in your macro, it can be easier just queue up a whole bunch, and that way you don't have to worry about it as much.
I think it's better to have like a middle ground of like just queuing one extra marine if you're like floating. Well, unless you have a ton of barracks and you need to spend the money and you're making a lot of army and it's hard to make army consistently like later in the game. I don't know. Maybe it's fine to just queue up a bunch, but yeah.
It's definitely like I could definitely see like basically any coach will say don't ever do this, but I can understand how like if there's a player who's newer to the game who like their macro isn't great, or like even if their macro is just dead ass terrible just because they haven't spent the time to practice and learned it and gotten used to it, why they would queue up 5 Marines. Because spending the money is better than not spending the money.
And also building consistently, which is like sometimes I feel like sometimes I'm good at spending my money and sometimes I'm not, but usually when I'm not, it's like I hit a big supply block and then I can't spend my money.
Right.
So I think one of the biggest things is not supply blocking, even if you oversupply a little. Also, disclaimer, E-rank Terran talking. This is not coaching advice. This is not financial advice.
Oh yeah, we're both like E-rank shitters, so, you know, don't take anything we say with a grain of salt. And take it in the broadest terms possible.
You know, unless it's scouting your overlords, in which case...
I'm going to harp on it every single game. Scout those overlords in the correct direction.
Legend has it that if you scout with your overlord in the wrong direction 12 times in a row, Scimo will show up at your house.
It's true. I will find you. So we have 10 Mutalisks, you know, on the defensive. Oh, no. Okay, we have a full control group of Mutalisks and 2 more on the way. I think that will trigger Dead Dumble to finally... Actually, a little bit more than a control group. The Mutalisks are going to be moving out. There are missile turrets sort of on the edge of Frank's base, but they aren't in great positions, but they're in okay positions. There's no Mutalisk at the expansion, but the bunker was kind of brought back a little bit, so that will help a whole lot fighting the Mutas. Yeah.
Would help if we also got turrets up at the natural, but...
Yeah. It's definitely... I think, yeah, you can see extra turrets are getting thrown up. A second factory actually was started and then canceled, but we see a couple extra missile turrets. But honestly, and unfortunately, I think this is enough Mutalisks to just kind of kill Frank.
To be frank.
To be completely frank. I think this is just
to
enough
be frank
Mutalisks
is to be dead.
kill. Yeah. I feel like, I mean, we're at, what, floating over at 1k minerals for both our players. Goliaths are coming out, and Goliaths in small numbers don't really work well against Mutalisks. Missile turrets don't really work well against Mutalisks. I think really the only thing that would prevent Frank from dying here is that the missile turrets impact the psychology of Dead Dumble, and they're too scared to actually attack into the main, because there honestly is not enough to defend this at all.
Yeah. I mean, I feel frank. This is essentially what all my TBZs look like, except I just die slower. Like, it's like, yeah, the mutas don't kill all the CC right away, but they still kill all my SCVs despite the turrets being there. I'm just sad.
Yeah, I mean, and it is going to be, I think that Dumble's just going to get into whatever production they can, dive onto the mineral line, kill turrets. Goliaths are going to come out, they'll be able to kill the Goliaths, and that's going to be the game. And our...
Yep.
Yeah, Dead Dumble gets revenge on the Terran Menace, who brought Valkyries and Battle Cruisers to fight them in game 1.
Well, different platoon, you know.
Oh, that's...
They sent in the new guys for this mission. It was basically like...
It was supposed to be a simple bug hunt, and then it turns out that they were actually poking the real hive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of this is
and we respect Frank the Tank staying in the game, even though it's clearly they're gonna lose, but we respect the attempt to stay in and try to salvage any type of game, because leaving early is the #1 way that CPL players lose their games.
That is true, but there is definitely a point where, like, I feel like it's... If you're on one base and the mutas are on top of your base, that's when you can leave. But it's like leaving early when you're on like, I don't know, 3-4 bases or even 2 sometimes, but still can make army units even if you lose a bunch of stuff. Is like that's when you don't leave early. But
Right.
yeah.
Oh.
It's definitely true. You don't want to leave too early sometimes.
All right. Most times you don't ever want to leave too
Yeah.
early because Brood War is a very hard game and you never know when your opponent is going to mess up. All right, we're going to...
But it's not really leaving early if like the mutas are on top of your base and you can't produce anything to kill them.
That's
But
fair.
yeah.
All right, we're going to hop over to our splash screen. Dead Dumble is going to take it 1-0 versus Frank the Tank. And our next game is going to be Dead Dumble versus Nerfingen for the best matchup in the video game.
Wait, I thought we were casting TVZs.
No. We're getting the best matchup. We're getting a ZVZ on Polypoi.
Oh, I thought it was another. Wait, shit. I mean,
I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
shoot.
Listen, I don't know why I thought Nerfingen is a.
No, I thought. No, see, the
Alright.
joke I was making is that I thought like Nerfingen was a Terran player, and I was gonna make a joke about TVT, but
Yeah,
actually
no.
not a joke. Yeah.
I thought Nerfingen was a Terran player as well, and I guess they might be playing ZVZ this season, or they might be playing Zerg this season.
I guess so.
I guess so. All right, you ready to hop right into it?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go.
I only know one build in this match. Well, that's not true. I mean, I only play one build in this matchup.
All right, in the top left corner, we have Nerfingen playing as the yellow Zerg Brood.
And in the top right corner, in the red trunks, representing the red Zerg Brood, it is Dead Dumbledore.
Alright. So, both players send their overlords down, which again, is incorrect for Dead Dumble, which means that they because they're scouting incorrectly, they actually do have a disadvantage this time, so it's almost like I have a point when I harp on overlord scouting angles.
Actually, both their second overlords are going to scout each other at the same time. So, really,
Wow.
I don't see the disadvantage here. Although, to your point, if he had scouted in the correct direction, he would have scouted him first.
Yeah. He would have been able to sit his overlord over. Is Nerfingen doing? Okay. So I think Nerfingen loses, right?
Was this was 4-pool?
I think this was a 4-pool.
We're too busy talking about the overlord.
We completely missed the production tab. Okay, we have.
Well.
Okay, we have info from the analyst desk. It was actually a 5-pool. Thank you, analyst desk.
Wait, and was Dumbledore's a 6-pool?
No. Dumbledore got his a bit later. I think it might have been a 9-pool, but yeah, I'm not sure. But the later pool wins here, right? Like,
if it was a 9, yeah, he should, as long as like he should just win. But
right, he just sets drones up on his ramp here and calls it a day.
Also, he made a pool and then he made an overlord, but he never got any gas, so there's gonna be no speed on these lings. But I don't think it's gonna matter. And then he's making a creep colony for defense.
Yeah, that's all. That's
which
a
is
great
probably
play.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my question is like, is the sunken gonna be up before the lings get here?
I think it
guess
will
not,
because Dead
but...
Dumble's gonna try and take a fight out on the map. But okay, I mean
Split.
Nerfingen just okay, huge start to the engage from Nerfingen. Completely takes out Dead Dumble's first force from just that early from being able to hop on them and get the first few attacks.
Yeah. Well, yeah, plus Dead Dumbles, like, Ling's got, like, a concave on, like, 1 or 2 Lings,
Mm.
and then, like, the rest weren't fighting, so they just, like, uh, took a much better fight. Like, even if there were an even number of Lings and the drone wasn't there, like, Dead Dumble still would've won that fight because of the way the Lings engaged.
Mm. All right, 6 Lings popping out for Nerfingen, ready to defend the home base, the home hive. Oh my God, he lives with 1 health. The absolute Chadling, the tank of the party, buys enough time for Nerfingen's own sunken
Yeah.
colony to get up. And now I think really it is the question of where do we go from here, right? Dead Dumble has 2 more drones than their opponent.
Which is significant in ZBZ.
It's a huge bonus in
Especially when you're
ZBZ.
only making Lings. Yeah.
Nerfingen is basically forced to try and hold their ramp and pray that they can macro up and kind of catch up and overcome their opponent. But Dumble's going to force the issue, force his way up onto the high ground. If these Zerglings get over into the main base, they'll be able to surround and kill the Sunken Colony. But with a couple of Zerglings still alive, more on the way, it looks like Nerfingen, it might just survive, but doesn't have a way to win.
I think what he's gonna do is just like trade well and go to mutas because he took his gas much quicker. He didn't put drones on it right away, but he's finally got drones on it now. And actually no, he already started speed. Wait, am I just no? Okay, he pulled off gas after he got speed. Apparently, I can't keep up with.
Can't keep up with the ZVZ. Yeah. So this is huge. So the big thing though is that Dead Dumble can continuously put on the pressure. They're getting their lair now, so they will be able to get up their Mutalisk extremely quickly. But the important thing is that these Zerglings are threatening Nerfingen, and so every drone Nerfingen makes, it basically becomes like a risk that Dead Dumble just had made 3 Zerglings at home and will overrun them.
Right. I mean, I think they're both pretty safe from being overrun by Lings when they're on one base and they both have the Sunken Colony, as long as they have enough Lings to defend. But I think what's going to happen here is, like, Dead Dumble's just going to get to Mutas first, and the Mutas are going to win the game.
Yeah, it's the 5 drone difference. Lair is almost finished for Dead Dumble. It is just started for Nerfingen. So yeah, I think, like, the only way Nerfingen could not die. So see, this is why I think having the Overlord, like this first Overlord, should have moved right over to Dead Dumble's base, because if Nerfingen knows what Dead Dumble is doing, they could maybe say, okay, I'm not going to make Zerglings, I'm just going to go hard on the static defense. Because I think in this position, right, you can't win the Mutalisk War unless you get some really nice Scourge shots. So maybe it's a better idea to get the Evolution Chamber and go for like a Spore Field.
Maybe.
I mean, listen, there's no way, like, when you're going that 4 pool, if you don't win, there's like no way that you actually win the game.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it literally is like saying like, oh, he'd be better to get the Spore, like a Spore Field other than going in Mutas, but neither option is good. 5 pool, right?
I mean, you know. I hear if it's like a 2-player map, you just do the 4 pool, and then if it's a 4-player map, you just do the 5 pool. I don't know if that's actually true, but I'm sure I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah, it makes sense. Especially if you've been coached by Hawk, who, if I remember correctly, when I had their team my first season of CPL. And Hawk was like, all right, to qualify for any coaching from me, you have to go and play 20 games where you just 4 pool every game on the ladder. Which, again, not sure exactly. I mean, he's a much better player than me, so I'm sure it does help with the micro and the control, but it's just also very funny.
Yeah.
Alright, Dead Dumble getting their second base up, still has the 5 drone lead. Yeah, I guess we're just waiting for the Mutas to come out, and once they are over Nerfingen's base, Nerfingen will go, ah, shit, and GG.
I disagree. I think he's gonna lift his buildings.
I think the lair's gonna pick up and start moving around.
Yeah, I mean, Zerg are always evolving, right? Why can't they just make their buildings fly? Why can't that be an upgrade?
It's just the upgrade is just called like hatchery with wings and just flies around like
Yeah,
a mutalisk,
basically.
popping larva out as it's moving around.
Like imagine you make you make a hatchery in your base for the extra larva, and then you just float it out to your third.
Right, Nerfingen. Yeah, see, they're getting the extra creep colony out. But the mutas are already here. They're going to kill an overlord and further supply block Nerfingen, and then they'll just be able to run over.
Also, 4 mutas versus 3.
Yeah, and
But they're
plus one
shooting
attack
the
on
overlord.
the way. But Nerfingen's going to try to take the ground engagement, and it looks like they have enough Zerglings for able to do it, but he just needs to keep going and put the pressure back on Dead Dumble. We might get into a base trade situation. Zerglings.
No, I think the mutas are going to clean enough of them up that it's like, even if they got into the main, the Sunken could deal with them.
That's fair, but all Nerfingen has to do is buy time, and then maybe they won't be dead.
And all Dead Dumble needs to do is turn around and kill all the drones, and then he will be dead.
Yes. Alright, more Zerglings coming out, and I think, yeah. Alright. And Nerfingen, GG's.
Said GG's in Allied chat.
Yes.
Although, to be fair, that does happen quite a bit. Like, even I do that. It's like, you don't realize it's Allied chat right away, and then you just leave the game.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I have to hit Shift Enter.
Alright. Well, that was everything I expected it to be for a ZVZ, and I loved it. So thank you to our players. Let's go back over to our splash screen. Dead Dumble. We only had 3 games come in from them for this week, and they won 2 of them. So I think that makes them the undisputed victor of preseason week 1, group 1. All right, let's get our next game set up. I'm gonna update the password so that it can be secure from
Password
stuff.
is password.
The password is password. Our next game is going to be oh shoot!
Very exciting.
Yeah, our next game is gonna be very exciting. I think I
Very inciting. What are we inciting?
We are inciting all of it. So I think hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Are we
I
insider?
missed a game on my thing. We actually have we do actually have a TVT. We have Nerfingen versus Frank. I just missed that when I was setting this up last night. So our next game is first going to be Cider versus Frank in a TVT. So we have 2 TVTs left.
See, now will be exciting. Best matchup in the game.
Is it though?
I don't know, I'm just saying that.
Alright, and we are in our game. It is loaded up.
I mean, that's what I don't know. Is it though is what I think when you say it's ZBZ, so I'm just like, now I have to say it's TVT.
Oh, you see, this is the thing though, right? If you don't like ZVZ, at least it's over soon. If you don't like TVT,
That is true.
there's 3 hours of it. Let's hop right into our game for Cider versus Frank in this TVT match. Alright, in the bottom left corner, representing the blue Terran squad, we have Cider.
And in the top left corner, in yellow, objectively the best color, Terran. It is Frank the Tank.
Alright. Alright, money down. Who do you think is going to take it?
Cider.
Do your caster bias. Wow. And you're only
yeah.
saying that based on a ZVT.
Yeah.
It's an entirely different game, this matchup, Terran versus Terran.
You got a problem with that?
I do. I think you're judging our player unfairly.
What if I'm just judging the other player extra fairly?
I don't know if you can do that. All right.
Okay, well then who's your bet on? The other guy just to be,
Yeah, I'm betting on Frank the Tank.
You think he'll pull through?
I think he'll pull through. He has 10 APM greater than Cider.
Come on, APM doesn't mean anything.
That's also true. But usually, if you're going to be a low APM hero, you probably need to be playing Protoss. Let's be fair here.
True, true. And that's why I got my slip in. That's why I've got my bets on Slip It Insider. It's like, you know, if he's playing PVZ, TVZ like it's PVZ, he'll probably play TVT like it's PVT. And if you've got low why do I keep saying? I can't.
Oh my god.
I cannot words. Apparently.
It's too early. We cannot words. And it's Frank setting up their wall on the ramp to prevent any extremely quick attacks. Cider hiding their barracks in their main to keep it hidden, getting their gas up. Yeah. I think we're just doing regular TVT stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I will note that Cider's gas is a bit quicker, so he'll probably get the factory up sooner. Probably.
Oh, we can see there's a point here where Frank kind of has skipped their SCV production. It's not quite as good, but there it resumes pretty quickly.
Also, he floats his Cider's floats his barracks out before even scouting where his opponent is.
What?
Actually, did he scout? No, he didn't, because he wouldn't be sending it wrong.
There's no SCV, and I mean, Frank doesn't see the barracks, so he has to assume it's a proxy, right? But then why is there a Marine in here?
Yeah, I don't think you can assume it's a proxy if the Marine's at the base, but generally what you want to do is you want to scout the map first before lifting your racks, and you generally just make like 2 to 3.
He's going into 2-fac.
Yeah.
What is this play? Oh, he's using the barracks as an overlord to go scout his base so he doesn't have to take any SCVs off.
I mean, I guess that's a way of doing it, but it's not super efficient, especially if you don't scout them right away. It's better to just like make 2 to 3 Marines for safety. I always make like 3. Scout around with the 1 SCV. Losing the mining is not going to be that bad, especially if you're like, it's just safer to scout with an SCV in like in case you're getting cheesed or something, and you also know where your opponent is sooner. The extra mining is not going to help you if like suddenly you get attacked and you only have 1 Marine. So it's a bit of a greedy play, but
characters 2-fac versus 2-fac.
It is, but here's the thing: is like, Cider doesn't know that. He doesn't know anything because he hasn't scouted his opponent yet, whereas Frank has.
Yeah, but Frank doesn't know it's a 2-fac either because the SCV was chased out.
That's true, but generally, I
he
wasn't
didn't
sure
see the factory being built.
He may not have seen the factory being built, but actually, how soon? It depends on when the SCV was in the base.
The SCV's gonna get up here and see the 2-fac.
Like, if you see 3 SCVs kept on gas, like, even if the SCV didn't see a 2-fact, you might be able to assume that there's a 2-fact. So long as there was enough gas to have put down 2 factories, and he put, like, 2 factories down at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So, like, even if, like, the SCV didn't scout the whole base either, like, he might be able to assume that, like, there's 2 factories in the bottom of the base, even though one's, like, at the top.
Okay.
Or maybe that's an overread, I don't know.
So, Yeah, Cider has spider mines now, so they're going to be able to come up, kill these 2 Marines, and start laying mines in Frank's natural. They have their own expansion, has already started. Frank hasn't started their expansion yet. Okay, so they're mining out of the side, so they're setting up the contain. If the tank isn't careful, knocked all the way down to 26 HP. It's going to have to retreat, maybe opening up time for the vultures to try and come up here. Pick off a Marine, 1 vulture dies, but they will get the Marines and be able to run out. Tank sieges up, but we have a Wraith on the way from Cider. So Cider's like turned this into like a sort of Wraith timing play, and with Frank going for like no Goliaths, it's just a 2-fac where they're getting vultures and tanks. The Wraith will be able to come up here, finish the siege tank off, and complete the sort of contain on Cider.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you're okay. This is looking like a really great position for Cider. They're mining up their own natural, which I don't think this is necessary, but you know, it doesn't hurt to be safe, especially since you already have the mines set up on your opponent's base. Frank, I think, yeah, he's just getting his expansion, not advancing his tech other than getting mines of their own, whereas Cider's just getting up on the Wraith count. He's probably going to get maybe 3 or 4. Double starport, never mind, we might see triple starport. So I think we're going to see Cider go for some, like, really weird airplay. So I guess we're starting to see what Cider's playstyle is, and it is air units.
You know, the funny thing is, I actually played. I played very similarly to Barisu. I didn't play similarly to Barisu. I played Barisu once and tried to go triple starport. Did not work.
Well, I assume against Barisu he was making a bunch of Marines. So.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, Wraiths are good as long as nothing shoots up, and right now Frank the tank does not have anything that can shoot up.
That is true. Although I want to say, like, in general, I feel like the way Cider played, like, opened was really greedy. I mean, it's gonna work out for him. And like Frank was opening a bit more safe, but in this instance, he still has no idea what his opponent is doing because he hasn't floated his racks over to like Cider's side of the map to see what he's doing, and he doesn't have any scans available or any turrets up to be safe in case of like shenanigans.
But to be fair, neither does Frank.
That is true, but it's gonna work out for Frank because it's not like there's dropships heading his way. Like, I would say that, like, in general, like, Frank is playing a bit safer, but he's also playing blind, and Cider's playing greedy, but he's also playing blind. Well, somewhat.
So, I think, so you're trying to just be like, when you're playing blind, it's better to play safer than greedy?
Not necessarily. I think it's better to just not play blind. Like, just send your barracks to know what your opponent is doing, and you'd be able to react. Like, if a barracks floated over here and like saw the starports or like got shot at by the wraiths, then
the wraiths
like
are moving out.
Yes, but I mean before there was like a mass of them.
Right.
Then you'd like be able to get turrets up, or maybe you switch to Goliaths or something to deal with them.
Yeah.
But I think in this case, it's just going to work out for Cider because, like, Frank doesn't have anything to defend against this.
No eBay, no armory, not even on the way. The Wraiths are going to start carrying us to the mineral line, and that's going to be GG, right? Like.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like.
All right. Well.
So the lesson here is float your racks to your opponent's base from like both players, I would say. Like, after you make 2 or 3 Marines, like, unless you're doing a big push, and you're making more Marines with that push, don't play blind. Or, like, suddenly you get blindsided by 7 Wraiths, and then you lose the game.
Get knocked down to 10 SCVs. Yeah, even the SCV building the eBay, I think, is going to die before the eBay finishes. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Looks like that is going to be the game. All right, well, Cider taking 2 wins, a TVZ and a TVT.
With many air
Oh,
units.
and
I
mine
think
took
the
out
starport
a
is his
bunch.
favorite building.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's going to battle cruiser, so you listen. Cider has a play style. Now, I'm
And
very
it's-
curious what his aerial plans in TVP look like. I don't think we
Maybe
have
it's
a
just
TVP
like
game.
maybe he actually makes dropships. Like he just sends dropships everywhere before cannons get up. I don't know.
Maybe.
Imagine if it's just like, isn't the Brisu playstyle like dropship bio? And then
Yes.
like making, yeah, it's like
great.
maybe he just plays like Brisu and goes like dropship bio and then starts dropping nukes when he gets the chance.
All right, well,
Wouldn't that be funny? Or
it would be great. So that's the GG. Cider takes it in a pretty straightforward, pretty impressive way. They just took the game and they won, as most players
Yep.
who win games try to do.
I think I'm gonna leave you on your own for a game because I am starving and I'm going to go eat breakfast.
All right, go do that then. And I will probably just finish off because we do not have many more games, so we'll just finish off on our own. This is fine. We also have Nerfingen versus Frank that I have the replay for that I did not include on the schedule, like I thought I had. So let's go ahead and load that game up, and we're going to have another TVT on Polypoid, because of course we are. Okay. Yep. Let me switch our stream over to the game. And we will go ahead and start. It's another TVT time. I think all the TVT enjoyers watching the stream, they're maybe a little disappointed we didn't get a more extended macro game. So I think we might be getting one here. In the bottom left corner, we have Nerfingen representing the yellow Terran squad. And in the top left corner, we have Frank CCCCCCC representing the green Terran squad. So I think Nerfingen might be race picking mirror matches. So many. How many players are race picking mirror matches this season? Because it's a pretty funny joke. Everyone's going to be forced to like the worst matchups. All right. Supply Depot going up for Nerfingen, or for Frank, and Nerfingen's going to hold up. So it's a little bit quick on Frank's part. Slight misoptimization, but this SCV is going to get a Supply Depot up, and we're probably going to see very similar Terran builds, as you do when there are Terrans. TVT is probably the matchup with the least amount of like weird cheeses. Just because like playing standard Terran kind of beats all Terran cheeses. So these early moments generally look very similar unless someone is going all in on doing something crazy. Frank already sending an SCV out the scout, while Nerfingen is more just staying at home. So the scout is a little early. You probably usually don't want to scout until after you've finished your barracks or finished your first supply depot. Or wait, is Frank going to supply depot before barrack? He's not even. So a bit of a build order like misoptimization here. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Frank just I like this isn't a real build. There's no reason to get that second supply depot so early. So I think Frank is just kind of winging it, and this will be something that hopefully as the CPL seasons go on, they'll be able to like get help from coaches, watch some of the streams where people talk about, it, and they can see how other people play, and they'll be able to go like, okay, you don't need to get a second supply depot before your racks. This is going, ooh, SCV fight, SCV fight. Oh, it looks like Nerfington is going to lose this one. Frank just barely denies that traitorous yellow bastard the ability to scout this base. This is an SCV civil war. Okay, first Marine coming out from Nerfington. Factory on the way. Frank's is very delayed because of how he took his build order. I think if Nerfington just tries to do maybe some sort of like heavy pressure, but it looks like they're not going to. It's just one SCV on the gas, so it will be just probably a regular factory expand. But if he goes for Vultures and Spider Mines, he will be able to get kind of a free contain up on Frank just because of how delayed Frank's whole economy is going to be. And it really does kind of tie back into getting that second supply depot so early and scouting so early, because you lose like when you only have 10 SCVs and you send one to scout, you're losing a tenth of your economy, which is huge really early in the game. Additionally, you're wasting an SCV building a building that doesn't need to exist. You're wasting the minerals to build the building. So yeah, Nerfington already has their expansion started. Their factory is finished and they're getting their machine shop. They even have their first Vulture out, so that Vulture could run across the map, kill all the Marines here, and like call it a day before this factory even like finishes. And if well, it looks like Frank's keeping 3 SCVs on gas, but with how the game has gone, with how sort of the game has gone so far, I think this is less of a like deliberate decision on going 2-fac and more of just like playing super standard, quote unquote. And like just keeping 3 SCVs on gas because that's what you do. I think he moved 1 off to build the second factory. But again, he's going like fac, academy, so Comsat station will come up. And he has enough money to start building the command center, but it just hasn't moved into the position yet. And it has given Nerfington that free reign to just kind of take the low ground and, yeah, get started on a contain. I mean, Spider Mines is almost finished, so there's going to be 3 Spider Mines laid out, which means that the Marines moving out. See, Frank even built a bunker on the high ground to try and defend, and that just isn't going to work when your opponent is already on their 2 bases. Their SCV production is going to start, like, dwarfing yours in comparison. Spider Mine, where the command center would go, that's a really good play. And as they're also laid out to kind of give the maximum vision on the map. So really great play there. It also means that Frank is going to need to get detection in order to like actually take the space. But they do have the tech for the Comsat station. Meanwhile, Nerfington getting an armory up, just about finished, about to have 2 factories and an armory. Frank also getting an armory. So this just, it feels weird. Like, it feels like both players are kind of going for the same idea. It's just Frank is just not executing the build like correctly, quote unquote. Which is this not to say, like, you know, when you make a plan, it's necessarily like a wrong idea. Well, these SCVs, the mining survey team are gonna have to run away. They will not be able to steal some minerals from Frank. But with 4 Marines, this barracks probably is gonna die, and Nerfington is gonna start up a second one. Refinery just about finished on the second base. Nerfington has an 11 SCV lead. If they can keep up their SCV production, they'll basically be able to run away with the game. Frank is even getting Marine range. So I think that, yeah, I think all of this is just really, I don't know, I don't think I would guess this is Frank's first time playing in the CPL, and they're learning StarCraft Brood War. Maybe they've played a little bit on their own. Maybe they've played StarCraft 2 a lot, and they're just getting interested in the game. But a lot of what I'm seeing here just kind of is like, okay, you're not playing badly, but what you're doing is just wrong on like, and it's wrong because of like decision 1, and now decision 2 is way off base, and now decision 3 is you're getting marine range and an engineering bay in TVT. So I definitely think also you're still not going to be able to land this, because even though you have the academy, there's no comsat station. So I think this is just something where a coach, like Frank, just gets into a voice call with a coach, and the coach says, hey, just do this, this, and this. And then also, trading 1 Spider Mine for Marine is technically a mineral win, since Spider Mines only cost 25 minerals. And you get a free Biker Man with it. But yeah, I think, like, Frank, like, they're not playing terribly. Like, they're not playing badly. It's just that what they're doing is wrong, and that is, thankfully, one of the easiest things to correct, is just having a coach come in and just be like, hey, don't do this instead. And it's like, okay, I do this now. And, yeah. Nerf Engine has their starport on the way. Second armory coming up. Vehicle getting their vehicle upgrades. Getting the additional factory. And scans are finally going down for Nerf Engine. They're not going to catch much on the first pass through. Unfortunately, Frank is going to have to land their command center like a bit further down. Luckily, the missile chart does give them vision, but this might be something that you miss, and not like you might not reposition your command center. Third base coming up for Nerf Engine. And the second barracks is moving over to Scout. Goliath and Charon boosters is being researched. Yeah, they have medics being made by Frank. It's double barracks, and this one really needs to like come over here and scout. Yeah, this is really like the StarCraft 2 like on-ramp wall and strategy. It just doesn't really work as well in this game, or it's not needed in this game, and it does kind of cause unnecessary problems. Since now, like if you ever get a big mech army in the base, okay, Nerf Engine pushing forward, trying to take a little bit of an engagement here, gets rid of a lot of the vultures, baits a siege tank forward, picks it off. Oh my god, Frank didn't have siege mode researched. That's going to open up Nerf Engine to be able to just kind of inch forward even more. That could just be how the nail in this coffin gets made, is Nerf Engine just moves forward, kills the bunker, and then prevents this whole base from being established. But it looks like that is not the direction that we're going to take it. Nerf Engine instead is just going to stay content, take their third base, take their fourth base, keep the contain on, and slowly tech up and just get that advantage there. See this in TVTs, again, this is one of the easiest ways for lower level players, because attacking in is risky, and so if you aren't confident in attacking in, you want to just contain and yeah.
And if you're the contained player and you can't really if you don't have enough tanks to like slow siege forward out of it, or have the vision, in which case, which is pretty much Frank's case here, I think he's like most likely dead, but like because he just doesn't have the units either. But what Frank could try to do, and since he has the starport with the control tower, is he could just try and make dropships and like dropship harass.
Yeah, try and like do drops on the siege line here.
Not necessarily the siege line, although that would work, especially since there's like the mines like right next to it.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably drop Marines like you would drop a Zealot, and it'd work just as well, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But that only works because like the mines are right there. But so I didn't watch the beginning of this game, but I'm assuming Nerfogen opened with 2-fact.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I didn't watch the beginning of this game, but I assume Nerfogen opened with 2-fact.
No, they went for factory expand. Frank opened with the 2-fact.
Okay. So it didn't. Okay, it didn't work out the way I thought it did. I just assumed this started with like a 2-fact contain, but I guess with contains in general, like if you're getting contained by a bunch of tanks, you just want to produce like there's two things you can do. Like you can produce a lot of your own tanks and try and like slow siege out of it and break the contain, which is not possible at this point for Frank. Or you can just go for dropship play and like try and like counterattack like the other Terran's base. But I think at this point, like the contain is too well established and too deep for Nerfogen. Plus, he's got 4 bases, so
yeah,
not much Frank can really do here at this point.
Yeah, double supply. We're just kind of watching the game resolve.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think I was saying earlier. It just feels like Frank. It feels like they're playing like okay, like they can play and they can macro kind of decently, but it's just that they don't know what they need to do. Like it feels like they're kind of playing a different game, or they're expecting something different. Like they're getting irradiate, right? And they got marine attack range, so it's it definitely feels like once they get into the regular season, they have someone who is willing to coach them. The coaches can just be like, don't ever get marine attack range in TVT, don't ever get irradiate in TVT.
Unless their name is Barisu, in which case he'll probably make it work out somehow.
Somehow. You irradiate the fucking tanks just to psychologically damage your opponent. Meanwhile, Nerfingen is getting
You make them
battle
think
cruisers.
it's TVZ. Oh no, it's a blinding cloud. Like, their vision turns red, and suddenly the cloud looks orange.
They just run away.
Yeah, they just run away.
Yeah, well, Nerfingen's setting up the infrastructure to get battle cruisers, but they're briefly supply blocked. That should be fixed pretty soon. Yeah, they're getting +1 marine attack and stem.
I wouldn't hate it if you played like, you know, if you somehow managed to just play like Barisu and you did a bunch of dropship play while also like, I don't know, building tanks at home, I guess. I'm not sure if that would work at all, but I don't know. Probably not. Maybe though.
I mean, if you're spending all your resources doing dropship play, don't you just die to the attack at the front?
Yes.
Yeah, so.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't know, maybe you open like, you do this like really fast 1/1/1 drop with like a tank or something, I don't know. And then your opponent doesn't go 2-factors. Because this didn't open with 2-fact. I don't know. It's pretty. I don't know. I'm trying to theory craft something that probably doesn't work. Just don't mind me. E-ranked here.
Yeah, I think again it's just like the thing where it's just like why are you like it's every like the decision tree started off kind of weird and then it just continued forward and it's just like okay, it's just getting weirder and worse and you know, it feels bad to just straight up be like, hey, you're not playing the game correctly. Don't do any of this of what you're doing right now. But I mean, it's just the kind of game where you watch it and you go, yeah, none of this is working. Which again, because it's not technically the player's fault, because it's not like, oh yeah, you can point at something and say, hey, this is where you messed up. It's just a whole thing where it's just like the decision tree of how you're playing this game is wrong. Which luckily, like I said before, is super fixable by just getting a coach in to say, hey, Don't do any of what this is, and just go factory man. Don't build an extra barracks. Don't get marine upgrades. Don't get science vessel upgrades. Like science vessels are, you don't ever use a radiate or EMP shockwave in this matchup. Yeah. Nerfingen getting their 5-starport battle cruiser.
Well, I don't know.
Kicked in.
You could get EMP shockwave against am I forgetting his name? He went like triple starport wraith. It's like if he gets cloaked, you just EMP so they lose the energy.
Okay, so counterpoint: Goliaths and scanner sweep. Also,
Here's the thing,
if you have
like,
the science vessel to EMP the wraiths, you have the science vessel to detect the wraiths and just kill them.
True, but here's the thing, it's like, you could, it looks fancier, 1. 2, the wraiths could just, like, pick up science vessel, like Scourge, and 3, you can still get the Goliaths, and then just EMP the, wraiths just to make them go away.
Listen, we have nukes incoming. The Terran,
Holy shit.
Terran covert ops is on the way, just in time to get killed by battle
Conspiracy theory. This is Brisu only playing with his left hand on...
Right.
It did not work out as well as he thought it would go.
Here you go. I guess the nuke silo is going to be built on the expansion.
You know what? It would be cool to see like a nuke. Fuck. Why can't
a ghost could set up right here on this corner, and then nuke the main, and then like kind of nuke the side.
Nuke all the tanks.
Also, oh my god, I will fix that. My bad. Jesus.
Oh, come on. Nerfingen. At this point, Nerfingen, like, come on. He could probably A-move into the main. Why you gotta take every base on the map, dude?
Alright, I think the battle cruisers are finally going to move out, and that is going to be how Nerfingen wins the game. Frank feeding a couple of mech units out into the containment, and yeah.
Where's the air support?
There's the air support.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and with that, the yellow Terran is going to take out the UED, because that's what color green is.
Green is the UED?
Yeah, I think so.
Then what's yellow?
Yellow is one of the one of the turbo squads or something.
The turbo squad.
Yeah.
Quick EMP
Just have the battle cruisers fight the Goliaths. Oh my god,
You know what? There's another use. You can EMP the BCs. To be fair, if the game didn't go like this, and you know your opponent is massing BCs and you don't want him to Yamato, in a late game scenario, I'm just saying, one science vessel and one and researching shock, it might not be the most useful.
Oh my god, the Goliaths aggroed into the tanks, and the battle cruisers are still scared of them. Oh gosh.
I don't think he's scared of them. I think he's just dragging this out, especially for you.
Especially for me. Nerfingen did this specifically to spite me. I literally... Oh my god. Ghosts of Goliaths.
You know, it's like...
He's EMPing tanks! What? You can see that the missile hit right on the tank it was targeting. Okay, I don't think Frank knows what the EMP attack does. I don't know. I don't think Nerfingen... Okay, I need to calm down for a second.
Maybe he does, and maybe he just realizes he's dead, so he's just like, take that.
Ooh. Yeah, TVT frustrates me on a fucking fundamental. He's rebuilding the covert ops.
Here's the thing, though. This isn't even a TVT thing. This is a Nerfogen isn't ending the game thing. It's like, this game could have been over 10 minutes ago. So you can't even argue that it's TVT, it's just Nerfogen refuses to end the game, and Frank doesn't want to leave.
God, it's the fucking unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Are you telling me that we're relying on a person who has waited until every single one of their SCVs has died to leave the game, to leave versus someone who is going to refuse to actually go in and attack? Like, yes. Yeah. This is both sides like making a conspiracy to like drag out my least favorite matchup to Kaz. Okay, don't worry though. This corner of the Terran base is okay. He is finally moving in. Let's see if this one Goliath scares them out. It is. My God, we're going up into 10,000 minerals. Yeah, the battle cruisers will finish this off. Frank is going to have to GG there. Nerfingen has taken all of the bases.
Well, I mean, technically, he doesn't have to.
He's approaching 10k in minerals and gas. Ghosts are coming out, so, you know, lockdown could be a factor. But the covert ops dies, and so lockdown will not be able to come out in time.
Remember, guys, never preemptively GG.
Never preemptively GG. Unless you're Terran, in which case preemptively GG every single one of your game. Preemptively GG every single TVT. Okay. Oh.
Yeah,
those don't worry. These 6 battle cruisers will not Yamato.
Yeah. If he's finishing him off, he's not doing it in style. Remember, guys, don't preemptively GG unless you get TVT, in which case, just end the game immediately and then upload the replay so that Scimo can open the replay, and then there's nothing to cast.
Please. Alright, so the GGs are called, and Nerfingen takes it.
Or better yet, you play an actual game, but then afterwards you play a game where one person leaves right away. And then you upload that as the replay.
Right. And it's like, alright, and in the top right corner, and the game's over, it's decided. Nerfingen takes it. This is giving me like terror flashbacks to some of the RSL games. Some of those brackets.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go back. That means we are now done with Group 1, and we can move on to our flavoring of the day.
Our final game,
which is going to be Group 4. Hello, Nightcat. Welcome to the stream. Group 4, we're going to have HM3-year. HM3-year versus Gusto. I'm not. Is it Himyur?
I don't know. I just pretended the 3 was an E and went Himyur.
Mirror. Okay, it's
surf here.
HM3 equals surf.
Wait, what? How does HM3 equal surf? What? Wait, hold on. Explain this to me like I'm 5. Oh, Pokemon. Oh, okay.
Oh, HM3 from Pokemon is surf. Hidden machine.
Right. Like, I was
thinking you were talking about the player surf.
Why? Well,
because
there was a player called Surf.
Yeah, he was on the Flying SCVs last season.
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, he's even in the Strom chord. How did I forget that?
All right, game is up. Let's get started on group number 4 of preseason week 1. HM3 Surfier versus.
Wait, then why is there a Y in there though?
Surfier. Maybe he's surfier than you. All right, let's hop into it.
Surf, you're done. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll just pretend that never happened.
All right. In
In
the bottom right corner, representing the Red Terran, the Sons of Core Hall, it is Gusto.
and in the top left corner, in the barbecue sauce brown Terran, it's Surf Yer.
All right. So it's another TVT. So hey. Oh man.
I mean, maybe
gosh.
stuff will actually happen in this one.
Maybe.
I'm sorry. That was
Yeah. Who knows? Hope we get a juicy synchro. Yeah. I mean, listen. As long as it's not 10 minutes of having to watch battle cruisers sit outside of the main base, I'm fine with it.
All right, barbecue sauce or ketchup?
Ooh, that's a good. What are we eating?
Anything. Barbecue sauce or ketchup? Just pick one.
I think that ketchup.
Okay, I
In
put
general?
10 grand on Gusto. If I lose it, it's your fault.
I think ketchup is better in general, but the things that barbecue sauce is good on, it has to be good on. like
Right.
the stuff that barbecue sauce is good on, like nothing else can go on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I once tried to make a sandwich and put barbecue sauce on it, and it's like I couldn't taste anything else in the sandwich but the barbecue sauce. I was like, oh, I guess it's a bit much.
Hmm.
It just, like, there was cheese, and there was, like, salami, and there was, like... And it just, like, I couldn't taste either of those. It just tasted like I filled the sandwich with nothing but barbecue sauce.
Yeah, like barbecue sauce, you can't have like deli meat with barbecue sauce. Like it has to be like beef,
Like
or,
a steak or something.
yeah, or
but-
like a chicken. Like it has to be. It can't be like a slices of deli meat. It won't taste.
But what if I just like add enough slices of deli meat?
I still don't think. I think,
What if it's just like the deli meat is just like as thick as a steak?
I'm not sure. I haven't considered this. Gusto gets the scout off.
Yep.
And I believe it looks like HM3 Yer is going to be going for a 2-fact. They have 3 SCVs on gas, and Gusto
I
also
think they
still has,
both are.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think we're looking at a bit of a faster game. Both, yeah. So Gusto, it looks like they're getting a little supply blocked. Unfortunately, they don't have a supply depot in production, so that's gonna kind of hurt them. Okay, they're building a bunker out of the main, so yeah, they're kind of stuck there. The supply depot does eventually start, and the second factory is on the way for HM Yer.
Plus, Gusto is getting a bunker at the natural, just to be extra safe.
Right. So maybe it's more of an expand thing, but they're leaving the SCVs on gas just because.
Yeah. I guess so. I don't know. Like maybe he just forgot to take the SCBs off gas. It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
So which means his expansion is going to be later than he wants it to.
Mm-hmm.
But
so does this mean that we're going to be seeing a contain from HM3 Yer on Gusto?
yes, and then he's going to make battle cruisers and take the entire map. How did you know? Sorry.
So do you ever have a moment in your life where you're just like, yep.
Yep.
TVT really.
Yeah, all the time.
TVT is really the Dark Souls of casting StarCraft. You just it's just impossible, and you lose faith very quickly.
Well, what do you mean? I play it. Well,
I said the casting.
You've casted. Listen, you've casted my TVTs where the games are like less than 10 minutes long.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You just drop 4 glass in their face, and then all the SCVs die. But yeah, it looks like. Yeah,
HM3 is actually moving out, so they might be setting up a bunker at like the 3rd. I mean, this one vulture is gonna kill all these Marines. Oh no! Oh, the Marines get the.
Not if he's not paying
Holy
attention.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he sent it out. He wasn't looking at it.
It was on
got
move
caught.
command.
Yeah. unfortunate.
What
But
if HM3 just tries to run by the bunker and gets the Marines on the high ground with SCVs tanking the shots? No, he's definitely building a bunker out this way.
Yeah, no, I think he's just gonna go for the 2 facts push contain, whereas but he's not building 2 tanks at a time. He only has 1 tank going out. I think he's trying to take his expansion, which I think is a mistake. He's also building an extra bunker. I would rather like HM3 see HM3. Sorry, I should just call him Surfer. Why am I saying HM3? Yeah, okay. I'd rather see Surfer like have just built the extra tanks and went for the contain.
First shot goes off for the HM3 Ur, and it looks like the final shot will be able to take it out. And now HM3 is going to be able to keep putting pressure on the bunker. It is within range, so these tanks will be able to take it out. And once the bunker falls, Gusto's going to have to give up the low ground. They can put tanks up here on the high ground, but they are going to lose this expansion. There's no way for Gusto to actually maintain it. If HM3 Ur pushes forward, they aren't really taking advantage of the opportunity, and Gusto's moving the tank in position is going to make it really hard for HM3 to actually set up the contain that's preventing Gusto from mining from their expansion.
Right. And I was going to say, what was I going to say? I don't know. He's still not producing 2 tanks at a time, and I think he wanted to, like, save for the command center, but he also, like, put extra minerals into getting these turrets up and this bunker up super quick. So he gets the contain anyway, but I would rather have him, like, produced more units first and still got the contain set up and then pulled the SCVs, like, a bit later. But, yeah.
Command center's under fire, so...
Obviously this contain is going to be very hard for Gusto to deal with, as he's only factory. And he's getting his second factory now. But it's like you got 2 options. You have to try and like either react very quickly as soon as you know it's
Marines are aggroing and getting torn through. All the Marines are dead. The tank on the high ground has vision and is taking snipe shots at the tanks on the low ground. Take 1 out. So Gusto has gotten their position, but like I said, this one SCV is the hero SCV mining, like repairing this command center.
Like I definitely think this the second factory was a bit too late. Like if you know it's a 2 fact, you just want to try and either get the factory out as soon as possible and like match the tank count and like slow siege forward.
Yeah, and every tank that HM3 is trying to move forward to get more damage on the command center, it just isn't working out. Also, I guess these SCVs are slowly taking a lot of splash damage, or they were shot by one of the forward tanks, because there are like, so many SCVs so close to dying. All right, command center is burning down.
He's trying to repair it. I think
he gets
he's actually... Yeah, I think 1 SCV out repairs the tank. Maybe? Actually, no.
Barely doesn't.
Yeah, the tank does like slightly more damage.
Dropship play coming out, 2 tanks moving out. That's really good.
Yeah, I was going to say, so the other thing I was going to say is if you aren't going to try and slow siege forward through your natural, you need to do the dropship play. And I didn't see the starport at the bottom of the base. But this is a good play from Gusto. It's like this is something he needs to do.
Oh my gosh, the backstab on high ground. That is.
He tries to unload the Marines. Get the tank. Nope.
Oh Jesus.
Oh no, just barely doesn't get the tank.
Yeah. And the command center, he needs to get a second SCV on it pretty soon, because unfortunately that math is not working out for Gusto. It is slowly falling. If he doesn't get that second SCV on it, it will die here.
Yeah.
Very soon.
100%.
Yeah. All right, it looks like the tank is getting up into a position where it actually will be able to help out, and that's going to be 2 tanks shelling the command center. One of them even, clipping some of the SCVs down here. Okay, 3 SCVs now mining, but we have a second siege tank in position is now sniping off SCVs. And now the refinery actually is falling. He's switched targets completely.
He's going for the drop again. He's going to drop these 2 tanks on top of the 1 tank.
Yeah, that's huge. And now they're going to be able to set up that position. He doesn't have vision on the high ground. But unfortunately, they hit the bunker instead of the
vision whenever they
tanks.
fire.
Yeah, they aggroed on the bunker first, and so, oh man, Gusto's losing a lot of minerals keeping this command center alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think HM3 is getting an SCV up here to start building missile turrets at this mineral only to get the drop shit out of the way. Also, Goliaths and Vulture Speed on the way from H on Seraphir, and the command center is finally forced to lift.
Just start calling him Silver Surfer.
The Silver Surfer. Well, he's the Brown Surfer.
But he could be the Silver Surfer.
He could be if he was playing those colors. Yeah. So it really is like, again,
well,
we just have the contain that's going to slowly start moving out. Gusto has 2 factories compared to HM3's 4. However, I mean, even after all that, the SCV lead is not huge for HM3. It's only 6 SCVs, but you know, like there's 2 command centers here building for HM3. There's no SCVs building for Gusto. Gusto's just kind of been trying to go up into tech to try and kind of angle a win instead of trying to like you know, like outplay or outmuscle HM3. They're trying to get like something fancy.
You know what I'd like to see Gusto do is like try and get an angle where like several tanks can hit one tank and slow siege so that you like take back your natural and then just like go drop his base. That's a play that I would like to see. Like if he can pull it off, I don't even know. But at this point, I guess I guess I would say I would like to have seen it. Wait, he's going physics lab. He's going straight to BC's. Wait a second. Wait a second.
It's the contained Terran special where they just go straight, and he's getting a 3rd command center for the base that he can't hold. I mean, he might be able to sneak one at 3 o'clock.
But I mean, these Goliaths are just running in. They're gonna get like shelled by tanks, so that's something. I was gonna say that like it's not good because he can just make Goliaths and he has turrets, but then he just walks his Goliaths in.
Oh my god, the first BC and Yamato cannon is on the way. Surfer's gonna need EMP to prevent the Yamatos.
You know, it'd be interesting is if you snuck the BC around the side and you like bring the dropship with it, and you just bring like 2 tanks or something, and then you just start attacking his base with 2 tanks and a BC, and just keep the. It probably wouldn't do that much, but I don't know. At this point, what do you do as Gusto, right?
Right. I mean, HM3 has a pretty easy on-ramp to winning, which is just getting Goliaths and calling it a day, right? Because Gusto doesn't have any kind of economy to actually build anything else. Like, you have a sort of a contain with your tanks, and you just get a shitload of Goliaths, and then the BCs can't do anything.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. This is like King of the Hill. We're just like out by the fence.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I tell you.
I'll tell you what.
I tell you what. Those Goliaths, they sure know what they're doing.
Yeah. God damn it, Bobby. God damn it, Bobby.
God dang it, Bobby.
Although it's like, it is funny that like Surfer just keeps like, he keeps wandering his units too far forward, and it's like they just get shelled by tanks.
Yeah. Oh gosh, and they're trying to get the battle cruiser. Honestly, HM3 could probably go like 2 starport and just pump wraiths and would win, right?
I mean, yeah, probably.
All right. Yep. The BC's getting shredded. And there it goes. No, it just barely lives. I think HM3 saw the command center moving out. Actually, they might not have. Nope. Yeah, that SCV is absolutely no. Did HM3 not see the sneak command center? So this is one of the moves that can kind of get you back in the game, is if you can actually land this hidden base and your opponent doesn't know about it. It throws off all of the like calculations for the game of where you are at and where your opponent is at.
The only problem is he's not mining from his natural, so even if he gets this base up, it's is not going to undo.
Tricky, yeah.
Yeah. Even if the base was up and running for a while, it's like it's still not great for Gusto.
Yeah, another high
I think
ground
this is
off
just
here.
gonna.
But
It's just
again,
gonna end in a very slow siege death.
Yeah. Or just a shitload of Goliaths. I mean, because HM3 is basically going all in on Goliaths at this point because Gusto's going all in on the BCs.
Loading up 6 SCBs, like
yeah,
5
I
of
mean,
them
this
are
is the
pretty
play you
damage.
make, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
actually, like, this is really good because it'll kickstart getting this base up here. Like, honestly, like, the contain has put HM3 in a huge winning position, but they haven't really, they keep donating units for the advantage, for, like, the advantage that they have in economy. It's really hard to see where that is actually supposed to be paying off, and because they're taking so long to actually try and break Gusto, they aren't really, like, the fact if this base gets up, the one advantage that HM3 has then that they've been able to push this whole game just doesn't exist. Also, we had BCs, we're getting nukes. Covert ops on the way.
I think it was more just like a bad rally and he donated a few units, but I feel like even if this base gets up, like,
I'm not sure about this. All those tanks on siege. He's trying to get back into his natural, but he's donating a battlecruiser to do it. He's gonna have to. Okay, the defense matrix on the 2 HP tank. It's the hero tank. They're gonna be able to push forward.
There we go.
They don't have vision on the single. Oh no! Oh my God! HP. Wait, Gusto actually is breaking out.
Yeah, there's like no tanks left. This actually surprises me.
Yeah. I mean, and this is like, yeah, this is crazy, and HM3 still doesn't know about the hidden base, so Gusto's about to be on 3 bases. But okay, HM3 is on 3
already
bases.
on 3 bases.
Jesus
and
Christ.
5 factories. And like, he's got 1-1, and...
Okay, he needs to target these tanks down. If they aggro on the bunker, it's not going to be good. Okay, so 1 tank left. But the BC's getting donated to the Goliaths. Oh, Gusto! What was a good position is quickly turning around.
I mean, even then, it's still good for Surfer, but even if he loses the contain. But I will say that you gotta admire Gusto's patience.
Yeah.
Like, being able to take this space in the top right, taking back his natural, like... building up enough tanks to just slow siege out of it. It also did help that like Surfer just threw away a lot of his units because of a bad rally, but...
Oh, but Surfer sees the hidden base now, so this is the problem. And this is why hidden bases against Terran is really hard, because at some point they can just go, okay, scan, and they see that you're building a nuke silo, and this base is just going to die for free.
Yeah, but... in this game, it was kind of something Gusto had to do. I mean...
That's true, yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do, and without without Gusto having anything to tax the scans, like if Gusto had gotten cloaked wraiths before he committed to BCs, he could have been like darting in and baiting scans out of HM3 and that would have delayed, and then they would have been more hesitant to have just tossed 5 scans down to check all the bases. As it stands, the nuclear silo is going to fall, and that is going to be, I mean, well, it's not going to be the game, right, because HM3 still hasn't busted Gusto. And I mean, this is a really nice tank line from Gusto, but I think we're finally getting it to the point. 18 SCVs to 44, 37 supply to 88. We're getting to A-move territory for Surfer.
Terran A-move race to Sagi?
Terran is the A-move race to Sagi.
Confirmed. Yeah, they just need A-move siege. Am I wrong? Why are you booing? I'm right.
Listen, being able to move siege tanks is a nightmare that I wouldn't wish upon anybody.
Honestly,
Aren't
it is
you?
a
You're
nightmare.
you're a
It is
StarCraft
in
2 player,
TBT.
right? Aren't you? Don't you play StarCraft 2? You know.
I mean, yes, but Liberators exist in SC2 too,
No.
so it makes it. Listen, like.
Listen. They
Makes it worse.
Siege tanks were able to get picked up by Medivacs at some point in that game's history. It is not. Oh, we actually do have a nuke being. Where's the nuke at?
Where the nuke? Where the nuke? Where the nuke at?
The nuke is in the natural base. The ghost is made. Cloak is researched.
I mean,
all
at
it
least
takes
we get
is
to
for
see a nuke
Gusto
go
to
down.
call the shot. We just have to see the nuke drop, right? It's halfway done. It's almost there. Oh my god, 2 ghosts.
Yeah, this is what it's been. All of this has been leading up to is the nuke drop that ends the casting. As soon as the nuke drops, that's when the cast ends.
Yes.
He better not leave before at least trying to launch the nuke. I want to see him launch
Better
the nuke.
not. We have to see this nuke land. It's almost done. It's almost done.
Like,
Please
I've
get the ghost on the high ground and
please.
just nuke somewhere on open plain. We have to see.
Please launch the nuke.
Okay, it's
I'm
launched.
following the ghost. He's launched
Okay.
the nuke.
Launch the
Okay,
nuke. Okay,
okay.
scans are going down everywhere else, so he doesn't know yet. The ghost getting up on high ground. The nuke is landing. Nuclear launch detected. It flies out from the high ground there. No. Okay. No!
No.
How does the scan see that?
Listen, you gotta respect him for going for it.
How did the scan see that? Oh my god, Terran is such a dumb race. Oh my god. We waited 20 minutes for that. For HFC to be like, I'm gonna scan 3 miles away from where the ghost is, and it'll still pick him up. Oh my god, what a joke. What a joke of a matchup.
You should have let the nuke land just for showmanship. No.
My disappointment is immeasurable,
Is
and my day is
immeasurable,
ruined.
and my day is ruined.
Alright. HM3er takes it 1-0 over Gusto.
You mean Silver Surfer?
The Silver Surfer. The Brown Surfer, because that was what
I
they called it
forget. I
as.
forget. Does Broodwar has gray, right, as a color?
I know it has white. I think it has gray. You could do light
you should
blue,
just,
and it's basically gray.
Yeah, you should just like pick gray or light blue, and then we just call him, like, if he's ever in another cast, we just call him Silver Surfer.
Yeah. What does it mean? Nerfington 10 Frank. He beat him 10 times. It was pretty rough. I don't know why CPL staff insisted they play 10 games, but...
He beat him so hard that it counted as 10 games.
Alright.
It felt like it. I mean, all TVTs are basically 10 games, right? In one.
Our next and final game is going to be HM3er versus Kalakis, which I believe is a...
right.
Terran versus
That's
Protoss.
I remember last game, I called the last game the last game. It's like, now here's the actual last game.
Here's the real last game.
You've been bamboozled. And by that I mean, I definitely did not make a mistake and think that we already did the other game.
Yeah, absolutely not. Alright. And with that, alright. We'll hop into our last game. It is Protoss versus Terran. Surfer versus Kalakis. The 2 games played of this group. Will Surfer be the
Will he be the Golden Surfer, or will he forever remain silver?
Yes. Alright, in the top right corner we have HM3er, the Surfer, in the grossly
Top
tan
left
Terran.
corner.
Top left right, yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. My bad.
And that's the Terran.
I
player.
thought you started introducing the other player, and then I started doing it.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, hit us.
Oh, okay. In the top left corner, in the bright yellow, repping the Protoss, it's Kalakis.
Kalakis. Alright, I'm going to do an alt tab just so that we have a bit more clear colors. Like, they aren't that close, but they're close enough. Well, do you want to take bets on who's going to win the game here?
You know, really, if you're playing Brood War, everyone's a winner.
Everyone's a winner when you play Brood War.
You know, except your opponent.
You know what?
What a
Listen,
loser.
you have to start somewhere, and sometimes you start. Do we have a glitched replay?
Why do you... Oh. Maybe?
Kalakis is alt-tabbed looking at Wikipedia for builds.
Maybe he's just, like, AFK.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a speed up. I know this is an official CPL cat. No, he is an AFK. Okay.
Oh, he was AFK.
He was just legitimately AFK. Okay.
Honestly, I would have just been like, yeah, I was AFK for the first minute. Can we redo?
Yeah, I legitimately was like, oh, I think this might be busted replay. Let's speed up and just see. And no, it isn't. So
he was busy looking up his build.
Yeah. This is an unfortunate. Oh, and the probes were rallied to the pylon. So this is a bit awkward.
Right.
It's an unfortunate game. We're like within the
Nexus,
first.
Let's go.
Yeah, within like the first, two, like even honestly within the first minute, it was like, oh. Okay.
Yeah. Come on.
But
7 Nexus, let's go.
Listen,
New build.
You got to start somewhere, and anybody who is willing to try and play Brood War, it's such a hard game to get into. There's so much you have to learn. It's so tricky, especially if maybe you aren't familiar. He's getting a forge, especially aren't like as familiar with the game. If you're like maybe you don't play a lot of PC games, there's a lot of reasons why a game could look like this early on. And so it's important that I would just say it's good to keep practicing and to it's good to keep practicing and just keep at it, because you will eventually get better. It's just, unfortunately for now, I was like, oh, there's only 2 replays in Group 4, and we have this. Honestly, yeah, like, all power to players who are like, I have 20 APM, I have 8 probes at the 3-minute mark, but I'm going to be playing this goddamn game. It's so much respect, because it's so hard, and it is so hard to it's so demoralizing. Like, knowing how to play the game and being like okay at certain things, it's like, oh, this game is so hard, and it feels so bad to lose that I can only imagine like how truly awful it must feel to like play a game like this and then you just die because your opponent did actually is playing the game like regularly. We have 2 factories coming up, a barracks. We have an assimilator coming out before gateway. Oh yeah. Wait, what happened? Yeah. So HM3 did scout. So I think that's why he's going for 2 fag, not even expand. He's just going to go for some kind of probably a siege tank push. Kalakis, meanwhile, like this is just again. So let's focus on HM3. They're doing a basic 2-gate. It's going really, really well. They're going to just build units, and they're going to be put into a really great position where the 2-fac push will be able to run over their opponent. And, yeah, right? Just because everything is kind of delayed on the Protoss' side, and HM3 just has to execute a pretty standard 2-fac, and this should be an easy win in the bag for our Terran player. Yeah.
There's a gateway blocking his gas.
So again, I think we talked about this a bit more with Frank, is that once you get into a position, learning how to play StarCraft on your own is a goddamn impossible task. Like, if you were presented StarCraft and you were told, hey, learn how to play this game, you will never in 100 years be able to stumble upon like the right way of how this game is played. That is an what? What? I didn't know that this building.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my god. Holy shit, that's so funny.
Here's the thing.
That's so funny. Somebody clip this. I need this. Listen, I need this clipped. Somebody, I don't know how many people are watching, but clip this god. I need to make sure that this this fucking moment is immortalized, where we learned the fucking, where we learned the counter gas gateway placement to glitch the probes out. What?
You know.
Oh my god! He's just like, okay, no, just send them to mine. I don't know what they're doing. Just mine minerals. Oh god, that's so funny. Again,
I think Surfer and Kalakis were colluding to troll the casters. That's my conspiracy theory. I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on right now.
Oh my god. That is literally
that is me
like
putting my tinfoil hat on.
Again, it is just straight up like, I don't know, like, if you're just given this game and told, hey, learn how to play this, this is the shit that I would imagine that you're like, this is how my build order and how I'm gonna build things. Where if you are going to play the game with no instruction at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, yeah, I think once Kalakis, you get into a group, you ask some players, hey, can someone, like, can you, like, come into a vision and, like, watch me play the game or, like, tell me what to do and when? Honestly, that, like, you just get faster at the game once you get, like, because sub 20 APM is really hard to work with. So,
yeah.
You know, once you get a little bit faster, a couple people tell you, hey, this is the build order that you follow, you would be surprised at how different just a little bit of instruction makes the game look.
Alright, if you have sub 20 APM, here's what you do. You build a pylon on 9, you get a gate on 10, you get a gate on 12, and then you make zealots, walk them across the map, and then you win the game.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, see, I don't even know if Kalakis...
Wait, is it pylon on 8 or 9?
It's on 8. Yeah.
Didn't even correct me, shake my head.
Yes,
Not a real Protoss player. No,
I think Kalakis doesn't know that he can GG out and leave. So I think, again, Kalakis just seems super new to the game, and so I'm really glad that they're in the CPL.
Yep.
And I think that they if they just, you know, talk with their coaches, get on their team, and then just grind out a couple of games to get fast, like to get that APM more practiced and more into it, they will like play so much better. Like, this is literally, like, if you were like, this is somebody's like very first game, they don't really, they're new to playing competitive 1v1 Brood War, I'd be like, okay, that looks about right. And I hope later in the season we'll see some games from Kalakis that I think they'll really improve a whole lot. I think they have the potential to really improve a whole lot if they stick with it. So I know at the end of CPL, there's always the awards that they hand out, and one of them is the most improved. And I would put money down that if Kalakis doesn't leave between now and the end of CPL, that they will like be in the running for most improved based on this.
Yeah. 100%.
100%. All right.
Maybe that's the long con, is that like just to get most improved.
Oh, and also credit to our chat here real quick. Without Kalakis, we wouldn't have found the gas mining path, which could be a PvP strategy from now on. Is you do the 2 gate in their main, but you get the gateway below the simulator. So if they try to go Dragoons, their gas pathing is messed up. It's an APM tax. Okay.
Imagine if you stole their gas, but then the moment that they kill it and take the gas back, you just show up and then like build 2 pylons in front of the gas or something.
Yeah.
I guess they can slip by the pylons though, can't they?
Yeah. All right.
I guess that doesn't really work because I guess it's a more expensive way of blocking. That's a more expensive way of blocking someone's gas, though, is you need to, like... I guess you could manor pylon them and then get the gateway on the gas.
Yeah.
Like, where you get it in the mineral line blocking a patch, and then you just follow up with the gateway.
You've heard of manor pylon. Now get ready for the manor gate.
Yeah, manor pylon plus manor gate, the ultimate combo.
The ultimate of good manners. All right, that is our CPL cast for the day. Why is my name capital N? Nerf Agent. Because It felt like it.
because
Here, I'll fix that. I try to be good
he's
about.
going to nerf the nerf engine.
We'll nerf engine. Okay. I try to be good about how the how the names are spelled, but sometimes some stuff slips through. That is our cast for the day. Thank you so much for watching. If you somehow stumbled here and you aren't in the CPL, you can type in !CPL to get a link to the CPL Discord. The season's currently underway, but you can always sign up to be on the wait list. And then, usually a couple players do leave during the course of the CPL, so if you get on the wait list, you'll be first in line to be able to fill those spots. Additionally, even though this isn't tangentially related to the CPL because it's about learning and being a better player, if you type in !Protoss, !Zerger, !Terran, you will get a link to the translation guide projects of that race. It's a great little crowdfunding thing that a lot of people have put together to get Korean guides translated over into other languages, and so that all players will be able to get the same sort of quality guides and instructions that are currently only available in Korean or in Korean. Let me also fix. Oh wow, the auto mod thing for you cowards expired already, so I can't set it to accept that. So sorry. Yeah. Anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Yes, name a unit. I redeemed it.
You're supposed to redeem those during the games. Okay.
Doesn't matter. Name a unit.
The ghost who was going to nuke in. The ghost who was going to nuke and then was killed by the scan that was 15 miles out. His name was Lieutenant
Rashjack?
Garfield the Ghost.
Garfield the Ghost.
See,
right,
that's the problem. Is that in StarCraft, in the Pupil sector, today was a Monday.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I mean, Mondays do tend to go slow, and there was a TBT. At least one.
At least one TBT.
There was at least one TBT. There might have been more. I don't know. It kind of all blurs together.
Well.
Yep.
That is the cast. All right. Is there any so also before we end the cast, is there any is there a StarCraft stream that we could swap over and do a quick raid on?
I could totally take advantage of this moment, start stream, be like, "Hey, check out this guy." It's like just my stream. Let's see.
Let's browse StarCraft, and I'm just going to do the first person here. We're gonna raid Herbmon, who I think plays in the CPL, or they have played in the CPL.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
I think they have. So here's a CPL player, Herbmon. Let's see. I think they're a Zerg player, so we're gonna just go ahead and do that raid. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you. We're gonna be casting again tomorrow. And we're gonna have a much longer cast. So
if I'm awake and message Scimo.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for tuning in.
Boy.
Oi.
Raid. All right.